Half a day, and welcome to another episode of Fistful of Talent. I'm your host, Joan senior producer here with KUAM News, and I'm so excited. I was literally counting down the days. The minute I found out that my guest was on Island, I was looking back, and it's been 4 years since our last interview, which is crazy. 4 years, and so much time has passed, and so much has happened since then. So I have with me I call her the Stylist to the Stars. Like that. I have Analyn Cruz. Half a day, and welcome back.
Yay, thank you for having me.
You look so refreshed because I know
thank you.
because you came here. I know you came here to get in some R&R and some other stuff we're gonna get into a little bit later. But I know prior to coming here, you went to Palau.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, guys! First time in Palau. Everybody should go for sure. I went with my fiance, Oston Saralu, and his family took care of us. We went everywhere. We did Milky Way, we did the Rock Islands, we went fishing out in the deep blue. We were in a fishing boat. Oh my God, I was just like, they're like, okay, don't worry, we're fine. Because as soon as you don't see any islands around you and we're in a tiny fishing boat too. So I was just like, okay. But I had so much fun. We definitely relaxed, and it was just like refreshing. It's like a great prequel to coming home, you know.
And I know the thing about it too is like you're coming from LA, like busy hustle and bustle and everything like that, and then you come to the island and it just kind of slows down everything. I mean, was that do you have to adjust, or is that do you just fall into it and you're like, yes?
No, I had to adjust. I really had to adjust. I mean, I was waking up at 6 a.m. in Palau, and we were like, come on, let's go, we gotta go. And as soon, the first day, we got on the road, and I was like, wait a minute.
It's 6 p.m.
It's only, it's like 9 o'clock. We've done everything already. I'm just like, what? I was like, oh my goodness. You know, I was just like, I told you, sir. I told you. I was like, but yes, I mean, I just got off a super long, crazy, stressful show. And going from that pace, I mean, literally 16 to 18 hours every single day, not including having to wake up 2 hours prior to getting to work. And then I have to stay later because my last show, American Horror Story, season 9, 1984, guys. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm so
No, it's amazing.
It's the one show. I'm gonna be honest. It's the one show. When I first got into the industry in 2011, it just came out, and I watched it. I was like, I want to work on that show. I want to work on that show so bad. You know, like from the talent to the creators to
it has such
storyline. It does. It has a huge following, and I'm just like, I really want to work on that show. And there's like a wide variety range, like from makeup and hair, and the creator, like Ryan Murphy, he's very much all about like not only storyline, but aesthetics is super important to him. Like hair, makeup, the look, wardrobe, everything matters. And to be a part of like a community, like they call it the Ryan Murphy world.
Yes.
To be a part of that community and to be able to create. I mean, he's done Nip Tuck, he did Glee, he did like his creation is like from one spectrum to another.
Yeah.
He does 911, you know, Lone Star 911, and then he does American Horror Story, and he just got a contract with Netflix to create series and original movies. So to be a part of that world in this like out there, you know, LA, the movie industry is huge, but it's so small at the same time.
And do you find that this has been the most busy you've been since getting into the industry?
Oh yeah, like you remember the last time we talked? I was like, my goal is to become union, to be a part of Local 706. That's our union, the hairstylist, makeup artist, and hairstylist like guild is Local 706, and it's like a grueling process to even get close to getting in. After we talked, I went back and I just hit the ground running, and I got show after show after show and got my days, and finally I was just like, okay, I'm in. And a ton of like my colleagues and people I've worked with were waiting, and they were just like, we've given your name to everybody, like here, and calls were just coming in, and I was just like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta work hard, I gotta do this. And I finally, when I still secret, I haven't sworn in yet, but I'm part of the union. I don't care what anyone says. No, serious. And then our president was just like, okay, saw me, like, was reading my paperwork and everything, and they're like, oh, you're from Guam. She's like, where's that? And I had to explain to her where Guam was and everything. She's like, I've been here for 40 years. Never once have we had anyone from Guam get inducted into our union. So I'm the first tomorrow.
See, you
I'm
can
the first
tell
person
that.
from Guam.
Bragging
in our
rights right
union.
there.
But I also have to brag that we do have, like, we have a brother and we have a sister from Guam, like, who are in our union now.
Nice.
One's a barber, he's a barber, and then Monica Rages, she's like a hairstylist as well in our union.
Before you know it, we're going to take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 3 people in the local now doing hair and makeup for, like, Hollywood.
And I know probably people are listening and they're like wondering how, because I know you're a licensed cosmetologist, hairstylist, special effects badass, makeup badass. But how did you get into it? Was it like a movie or a show that you watched that kind of like triggered that?
I'm gonna be honest, like, 2 totally different sides of my family. Like, my dad's, you know, blue collar, military, and really straight-laced. My mom, on my mom's side, is like super creative. They're entrepreneurs and do all of that kind of stuff. And I grew up on my mom's side, like, always working. No television, no nothing. So as soon as we went to my dad's, you know, he has like a regular job with the military and doing that. So our pastime was watching movies. So I'm a huge fan of action films and those type of movies. Like, I love Wesley Snipes, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Kurt Russell.
Stallone,
I
Kurt
still remember that.
Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Like, those are my ultimate goal is to work in a Chinese film, like kung fu film. That's what I do. But yeah, I grew up watching movies with my dad, and I was like, At first, I really wanted to be an actress. I want to be in the movies. I was like, and then I got there, I'm like, no. And then I just realized that, man, you know what? I want to do hair and makeup. I was really into, like, how they build the sets, and anytime I watched a movie and you saw the actual studios, like, you know, what was that, Beverly Hills Cop?
Yes.
You kind of see them walk through the studios and everything. I was like, oh my God, what's that? And that's how I started, like, doing hair and doing makeup. Looking at crazy magazines and working with my older sisters. Like, they allowed me to do
Your
their
guinea
hair
pigs.
and they were my guinea pigs.
So, you know, because you left Guam in 2011? I guess what prompted you to kind of like go off and pursue your passion?
You know, I went to hair school in Vegas, and, you know, life happened, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go home. You know, my mom had taken my brother and sisters and moved to California. I was the only one in Vegas. I mean, I had my aunties, cousins, and whatnot, but I was there by myself, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go home for a second. But before that, I was like, I initially traveled to California and went on a tour of the makeup school, and I was just like, I really want to do makeup, I want to do special effects, I want to go see, and this is the school I want to go to. I mean, mind you, I've been researching makeup schools and hair schools since I was in, like, a freshman at Simon Sanchez, like, high school. I remember always telling my friends, they're like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to go be a hairdresser. I'm going to do makeup. They're like, really? I was like, yeah, I'm going to work in the movie. They're like, okay. Like, some people were like, okay, go.
Skeptical.
That's cool. Yeah, skeptical. Some people were like, okay, we'll see.
Look at
family.
You get the last laugh.
Yeah, some of my family is like, you're never going to go do that. That's stupid. Just go to school. Just join the military. Do something, you know? And that's like the stigma with my profession. Is, you know, there's a lot of articles right now, and a lot of people are talking right now about how, like, being a hairstylist or being a makeup artist is like a dropout career. and it's
totally
opposite. Yeah. It's not that at all. And you know, I just wish that I can talk to, I mean, we're talking now, you know, and let people know that no, dude, like, it's the one profession, if you're really passionate and really want to do that and be like, you're free to be as creative as you possibly can, you know. And yeah, I came back home. I was behind the chair for a while. I mean, I worked with some of the best hairstylists on this island, like, next to me. They taught me a lot of things because I was fresh. You know, I won 2 years actually. Yeah, 2 years out of hair school. But never just solely behind the chair. I was working in a pawn shop, girl. Hustling 24/7. They're like, what'd you used to do? I was like, I worked in a pawn shop. I was a hustler. Like, the guys from Pawn Stars, like, literally was right down the street from me, and I would go there every day and hang out and get changed because I didn't have enough money at my shop, and just that's what I did.
And you know, the thing you were saying about how, you know, people don't see it as a real, like, profession, or, you know, like something like is like your last resort kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember you telling me in the interview you would have like 20-hour days.
Yeah.
You know, where you'd be sometimes on your feet,
yes.
and you know, you have to do the same thing the following day. And
girl, that was the non-union world.
So with union now, it's like full day, full 24 hours. But
yes, and you know, I feel like sometimes when I talk to people, they're just like, oh, well, it's always been, you know, you're lucky and it's always been good for you with what you're doing. And I have to, you know, that's when I'm just like, no, I was working this many hours, getting paid like anywhere from $25 to $150 for that entire day. And I have to use all my supplies. Like, so there's a lot of times where I'm just like, I mean, I spent the first 3 years of my career, like, before I came out. Dude, I can say this now. I'm not mamala about it now, but, like, I mean, I'll be honest, like, I was like a college student, you know, trying to live in LA, eating
it ain't cheap.
Ichiban.
Yeah.
I was eating Ichiban. I was like, okay, I don't have enough gas money for the week, so I'm gonna stay at the car for work, and I'll take the bus. Or where I lived, I was fortunate enough, you know, to live close to a grocery store. I can just walk, or live close to shopping. I can just walk, you know. And that was what I did. And you know, sometimes I get people who DM me, message me, and just like, hey, so I want, like, can you help me out? Or, you know, I really want to do this and I want to do that. And like I told you last time, like, you've got to sacrifice. You have to be willing to live within your means, you know, and sacrifice
Needs versus wants.
Yes, needs versus wants. And I spent a lot of time doing that. I mean, I don't regret any of it, but it was hard.
Because I remember you two telling me that when you were starting out, I think like one of the first things was you were the hairstylist for Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
And you know, you were following him. You were following him on the red carpet, and you know, people have, like, you know, their style belts and everything, and you had a can of hairspray and like comb.
Literally.
But I mean, you know, to then you go back to that moment, and then you see your progression from that point to like where you are now. You know, American Horror Story. You know, sorry, it's like you said, you don't regret any of the experience, because it's just that, it's experience, and you're honing your craft, and you know, from the first time that I did the feature on you, which was 2013, when I first heard about you, and then we did a feature. You know, at the time, like, when I was hearing all this, I was like, man, this girl's gonna go places. And then we did the follow-up, which was 4 years ago, and then how you progressed there, and then like now, like, to see like what you've accomplished so far and what you have planned lined up for into the new year. It shows, like you mentioned, sacrifice. You know, not to get discouraged and everything. And that's, you know, one of the things too with this podcast was, one of the reasons why I put it out was, you know, for those that are listening that maybe are into like hairstyling and makeup and special effects, that they could see and hear from someone that has gone through it.
Yeah.
And kind of feel like that motivation and inspiration to be like, hey, if she could do it, hell, I could do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that you've done TV shows, movies, music videos, and now right now you're currently doing American Horror Story.
Well, I wrapped American Horror Story, and then jumped straight, literally the next Monday. Wrapped on Wednesday, wrapped out my trailer, and then Monday morning went into my new show, which is like for FX. It's called The Old Man. It's with Jeff Bridges, John Lithgow from Third Rock and the Sun, Amy Brenneman, and it's a new show for FX. Right now we're on hiatus, so I was able to jump straight into that, and then by the time I get back January 15, next day straight into work again, and then in March we go from LA to Morocco. So from March till first week of July, I'll be in Morocco filming. I'm scared. This is going to be the first time
away, right?
Yeah, like out of the country, filming something.
How about Morocco?
Yes. Yes. And nice. So our entire team, I've worked with the other hairdresser before on The Kids Are Alright. It was an ABC show. We did the entire pilot. It was amazing. It had like Michael Cutlets from Walking Dead, like Ken Young from like The Hangover was on it. Mary McCormick, who I'm really good friends with now because of that show. We worked together on that, and then the key makeup artist for the show is one of my like best friends out there, like makeup artist. She's also done American Horror Story. She's done Swamp Thing. She's done like Captain Marvel, Mandalorian. Like she's done a lot of different, huge shows as well. And we always told each other when we started. I'm telling you this story because when I first met her, we didn't get along. She came to work all dolled up, and I was like, "Girl, it's blood and dirt day. What are you wearing? Why do you look like a pin model?
Why you wear white shirt? Why you wear white shoes?"
She came in a pencil skirt, red lips, victory rolls, and I was like, "Girl, we're getting bloody." And this girl, straight up, blood tubing and everything, on her knees, on her hands and knees, in her whole outfit, like working hard. And so I was like, okay, I can hang with this, and we've been friends ever since. And we always told each other, I was like, okay, we're gonna get a show together, manifest. I'm all about manifestation. We're gonna get a show together, and we're gonna go out of the country and work on a show together, and we're gonna do this together. And it's gonna be our first time working together on the actual, like, in like managerial like positions in our, how do you say?
Your field?
Yeah. And together out of the country. So we're super excited. She'll be here. She's gonna come to Guam.
Oh.
Yeah. She's gonna come over. She's one of the girls in my wedding entourage. Yes, I'm getting married.
Yes. Which brings us to our next topic. Why you're here, and I like one of the first things I wanted to say at the beginning, but I was so excited to kind of dive into what you've been up to. I did want to say like congratulations on not only your engagement but your upcoming nuptials. I know you're here definitely for R&R, but also to do getting some much needed wedding planning because your schedule is so tight. You have to take care and square away everything before you head off back to work, because you literally, as soon as you leave here, head in. So as if, in case you guys didn't hear her at the beginning, so she's engaged to super talented musician Oston Saralu, and I wanted to know, like, were you guys always friends? I mean, how did you guys meet?
Okay. So we met here's our story. We met through my nephew, Noni, who's also a musician here. He's a drummer. He plays for a few bands out here. He's super talented. I love him to death. My oldest nephew. I just came back from the States, And he was like, oh, Tierney, do you want to come and see my show? I was like, yeah, okay, after I'm done with everything today, I'll come and see it. I ended up being late. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just take you to go eat. And King's is always open, right? So we went to King. I went to go pick him up, and Oston just so happened to be there. And Noni was introducing us. And he's like, Tierney, do you know who this is? And I was like, no. And then he's like, this is Oston Babalu Saralu. And I'm like, and? And Austin's like, hi. And he was already tipsy and everything. And he was just like all up in my face. So I'm like, whoa, bro. Step back. This is too much. And so he went with us to King's and ended up sitting right next to me. And we were talking. And I was just like, well, I know some Saralus, and then I told him who I knew, and he's like, oh, that's my brother. And I was just like, oh, he's nice, and he's like, no, he's not. He's like, you're not either, and it was more graphic than that, so I'm just
the PG version.
PG version, and walks out, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he tries to ask me to do his hair. I was like, make an appointment at the salon, and I'll do your hair. And then he tricks me. He's like, you remember I got you to do my hair for free? And I was like, he literally was like, so how do I'm having trouble putting my hair, how do I put it in a nice bun? And I was like, okay, here, this is how you do it. And I helped him, and he's like, I guess I don't have to make an appointment at the salon after all. And walks away. And that was our first introduction and meeting, and we just became friends after that. I was like, man, this guy is so funny and straightforward, and just and I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know that he sang, nothing. Every time, my nephew was playing with him, he's like, oh, come and watch it. As soon as I walked in the first gig and he was the one playing, stop the gig, finish, over. I was like, I thought you were playing. He's like, I don't know, Oston doesn't want to play anymore. I'm like, so for the longest time, I didn't know that he was a performer and a musician. I mean, I knew he's a musician, but perform, I thought he just plays a keyboard, or I don't know. So finally, I figured out who he was, and I was like, oh, okay. But we were already together. By the time I figured it out, we were already together.
Because he was a staple here for Local Fridays, and I mean, we play a bunch of his music on I-94, and I figured, because he eventually, left to the States, and
he came to be with me. I'm gonna be honest, if I didn't have him out there, because of how my career has just
crazy, and that's what I was gonna bring up too with you, is that, I mean, him being a musician and his schedule too, just crazy gigging and with all the things that he's been working on, even touring.
Yeah, it's sometimes we get a weekend together.
Mm-hmm.
He'll whatever tour he's on, they'll have another California show in the middle of their tour, so he'll be able to come back and I'll see him for a day. Or he'll have 2 shows in Southern California, and I'll be able to see him, for 2 days or just the weekend. And but normally he plays with everybody. He plays with Tanel, Jason J.
Mm-hmm.
He plays with Patsy. He's played with Finn the Grova. He's played with Ellie Mack. With Hyrie, he's played with he's on a comic with Landon McNamara, and he's played with other artists and they're kind of a collective of artists who play with everybody and in different bands or for different shows, and he's just been non-stop since he's moved out there.
Do you think it's helped too that there's local there's local musicians out there too, that it wasn't he was completely leaving the environment of local musicians
Mm-hmm.
here and gigging, and then going to the States?
Yeah, it does. I mean, honestly, when he first moved out there, the one person that we love him to death is Jason J, who pretty much took him into and introduced him to that world out there.
Mm-hmm.
And was just hey, this is Oston. He was playing for Jason when he first came out, and just was able to meet other artists who've seen him play and, you know, make connections and network and do all of that. And he's just been fortunate and lucky. I mean, he misses it out here. Like, he loves playing like Joan music and doing all of that, but like our schedules work perfectly. Like he doesn't work in the day. He's like, oh, I want to go. I'm like, no, you can't go work. Sorry. You're working because he works like, you know, he gigs every day. He's always at rehearsal. He's always, and like he gigs at night, and that's his schedule. I'm like, you are working. This is your work. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're passionate about. Like, why focus that creative energy or focus any energy at all, like on something else that we're okay. You know, like, no, we need to do this. This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to work. And he's like, okay, you know, so our relationship totally, it's like a breath of fresh air.
And the amount of creativity between you two, I mean, just put it out there. Like, when you guys have babies, they're going to be like the most creative babies. Like,
we've been trying. We've been trying.
Musician / like a musician that also does hair, special effects, and it's gonna have it all. It's gonna have it all.
It's so crazy. Like, I mean, I just finished. So a few of the actresses on American Horror Story, they're like Leslie Grossman, Billie Lourd. They also are in other Ryan Murphy shows, and they met me for the first time in like American Horror Story, and they were straight up, were like, Analyn, what are you doing? Because we were talking about kids and everything, because Billie Lourd's trying to have kids. Billie Lourd is like Princess Leia's, Carrie Fisher's daughter. And I was just like, yeah, me too, I'm trying to have it. And Leslie Grossman looks at me and she's just like, no, you can't do that right now. No. Do you realize you are amazing? You need to do this. Like, no, trust me. And Ryan Murphy is like her best friend. You know, one of her best friends. And she's like, no, you can't have kids now. You can have kids, but later. Like, don't. I'm like, girl, you know how old I am? She's like, how old are you?
Time's a ticking.
No, I'm like, I'm not young anymore. She's like, oh, you look. I'm like, looks are deceiving. I'm like, girl.
Like, thank you for thinking.
Yeah. I was like, thanks, but I need to start having babies now. You know, sometimes though, I'm just like, I know when I have kids, I will definitely slow down. And because I want to just be there for my kids. And it's like, now, I mean, especially coming home, and like, sometimes it's a little, like, sad for me. Oh my God. Because I'm like, oh, I see all my friends and like all the people I grew up with and like my family all having babies and they all have kids, and I'm just like, sorry, like, darn it, you know? I'm just like, man, I want kids too. So we're trying. I told Austin, and if we can't have like kids together, I'm just like, dude, we're gonna adopt like 5 kids. I'm totally down for adoption. So if anyone wants to give me their babies. With no fair aspects.
So, you know, and you know, through the years that you've been working and you've had these projects, have you ever, and I, you know, I see like the pictures, like, you know, of your clientele and like the projects that you're on. Have you ever been really like starstruck by anyone?
Oh yeah, I still do. I mean, I just, you know, I work with a lot of people who are from totally different spectrums of how they were raised and where they grew up and all of that, and I always find that I'm alone in my experiences as far as in being in my industry and being around my like coworkers and colleagues, because I, you know, grew up on an island. Like, I grew up with 10, 15 people in the same house, you know, working since we were kids in the store. and no one has the same kind of experience, but like, it's just when people start talking, it switches my train of thought, because there's a lot of actors and actresses who have been through like crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
For some odd reason, when they're in my chair, they want to tell me their whole life story. So I'm like, oh wow, like you're a real person, like you're normal. You know, it just switches my, oh my god, oh my god, because sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't know
I'm about
what
to touch.
do.
I'm about to touch so and so's hair, and
Like I was working with Joan Lithgow, I'm like, and he remembered my name after meeting me one time, and like not really like meeting me. He was just like introduced from afar. And I was like, oh my god, because I'm a huge fan of Third Rock from the Sun.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And he's so nice. He's such a nice person. But I'm just like there. Yeah, I do get starstruck. Like the most recent, and I couldn't hide it because I'm just like, girl, I got to work on Star Wars. Billie Lourd's like personal hairstylist.
oh, wow.
So J.J. Abrams, like we walk in, and that whole time, you know, I'm on Star Wars. I'm working 2 shows at this time now. I'm working on American Horror Story, and I'm going to work on Star Wars. And like everybody, Billie is like the most amazing human being ever. So everyone's okay with me. I'm like, okay, I'll go to American Horror Story, go to my trailer, get everyone ready. They go to set, and then I leave. And I go to with Billie. And first time I met J.J. Abrams, like we were talking, me and Billie were talking, and she was like, we're joking, I'm just watching her, we're waiting for everything to roll, and JJ comes up and he's all like, no talking to the actresses. And I was like, and then Billie's like, Analyn, this is JJ. JJ, this is Analyn, this is the most amazing hairstyle, this is my girl. And then Jay's like, I'm just joking, and starts laughing and like hugs me and shakes my hand, and he's just like, nice to meet you, thank you so much, I really appreciate you coming, and thank you so much for being here. Like, she hasn't been, you know, the whole stigma with Star Wars and mom and passing away and everything, and it's like hard for her. So he's like, thank you so much for being here, and it was just like a wonderful experience. And he is so, I mean, everyone knows J.J. Abrams, like, he's done a million different shows, and he's doing Star Wars now, so I'm just like, oh my god, J.J. Abrams.
And do you know, all these projects, and you know, meeting and having them sit in your chair, and you know how you mentioned, like when you talk to them, you realize that they're just, you know, well, I guess when you see someone on screen and you envision like who they are, then when they're actually sitting in front of you and you get to talk to them and you realize that, you know, they are just really down to earth.
Yeah.
Do you take that, and I mean, does that kind of change your mindset of like, I guess your expectations of when you are working, when you go to a project?
It does, but it's not always humble and, you know, down to earth that you encounter in the industry. And sometimes it's not even the actors who are that way, it's like the producers or who, you know, and I don't know, I kind of just have I'm here to do what I love to do, and I do my work, and that's it.
My way.
You know, exactly, because sometimes it's just, I'm like, you come across people who, and you're just amazed that people can be the way they are, and just like, man, we're just so lucky to be here doing it. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna stay over here. Positive vibes all the way, all around, guys. Come on. So, you know, I mean, sometimes that does. I mean, especially if we're working so many hours, and imagine having that kind of energy around you for 18 hours a day. Yeah, it's kind of draining, you know.
So, you know, for those people that are listening and are looking to going into kind of your field, or find it interesting and they want to know more, I mean, what could you say, what piece of advice would you give to them, especially if they are making that decision to take the leap and go abroad, you know, go to LA or go somewhere, whether it be for, you know, schooling, or they're just kind of wanting to learn more about the craft? What advice would you give them?
research, reaching out to people. Don't be scared to reach out to people in the industry or in the field that they are interested in, because people are people, and a lot of people, like, for instance, if someone asks me about anything, I'm just like, hey, here, this is how you do it, this is what you need to do, this is, are willing to give, like, help,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always willing to help anyone, especially people from here, from home. So it's just make a choice, make a decision, and just go with it. And be strong, and don't second guess, and don't doubt yourself. The moment you start doubting what you want to do or where you want to go, or you just make excuses. I'm just being honest. You just start making excuses for yourself, and you don't do it. I don't know specifically what advice I can give for if you're trying to do something like that. You just have to. Research for sure helps. But I feel like it's very much, it has so much to do with yourself and your mindset and your drive, your motivate, being motivated. So, I don't know.
And then what would you say to those to kind of just, because obviously, you're going to hit some speed bumps, and there's going to be some, you're going to get a lot of no's before you get before you get that one yes. How do you keep someone from getting discouraged? Is it like surrounding yourself with kind of like-minded people to kind of keep that?
Yes, for sure. Surround yourself with people who are working hard and striving and pushing themselves, and the moment you are around someone who's just a negative Nelly, step away, because it trickles, and it's I feel like you need to just look at it hey, there's so many opportunities out there. Just because this person says no doesn't mean that this person's not going to say no. When I first went out there, I told you the story about getting turned down from every salon out there. Yeah, I applied for, I want to say 50 different salons. I have so much experience, and first off, I got turned down from working at a dry bar. It's a blow dry bar. It's a chain out there in the States. There's a chain, and they wouldn't hire me. I applied at different ones too, because I was man, I really need to figure this out. I need to work. And then all these other salons, same thing. And I was discouraged for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? This is a sign that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I need to be doing something else. So I took the first movie that was offered to me at $25 a day, and I was like, okay. But that experience that I got from that movie was more payment than I could have gotten in
the dry bar or whatever.
And it was worth it. It was so worth it. Sometimes working for free. I used to work for free too. $25 kit fee, sometimes not even, nothing. It's my gas, it's my money, it's my kit that I'm putting into working, and I would work for free because the director, the producer, the art department, the construction foreman, everyone on that set that you meet will get you somewhere else in that industry. And sure enough, I've gotten jobs still from up until this day, from that very first movie I worked on, and from all those people that I've met, I'm still getting job offers up to now, and everyone's different now. One of the people who was a PA on that show is now a producer, a line producer for big network, calls me because we met on that show, on that low budget, no budget show. But you have to be willing to sacrifice. I think it's just a lot of sacrifice and a lot of having to deal with, I'm not going to lie and say my family, all my family is really supportive for sure, but there was always there's always a point where they're just never mind, just come home forget it, just come home, you know? And I'm just like, no, I can do it. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. You just be positive and just know that it'll be okay. There's always something. There's always something for you to do.
I do want to say thank you for taking the time out of your crazy schedule here and.
Oh no, girl! I don't have a crazy schedule here. I'm relaxing.
I do appreciate you coming in and catching up and finding out what you've been up to and you know, and hopefully people that are listening, you know, when the next time they're watching, you know, those shows and they see like makeup or their hair and they're like, oh, I know who did that.
Well, I just, please guys, vote for and go online and click and do all of that because I got nominated for a Guild Award for American Horror Story.
Awesome!
And I also actually was nominated for an Emmy for Who's America? Sacha Baron Cohen. So if you've watched it, it's on Showtime. I did all it's a super controversial show, I know, but I did all the hair in that show, all the wigs and color and style and, you know, from sideburns to mustache to beard. Like, I'm super proud of that show because I'm the only hair person that did all that. So
wow.
I got to do that. But yeah, pretty soon, guys, I'm gonna bring home for Mom. I'm doing it for everyone. One will have an Emmy and an Academy Award and an Oscar. I promise.
And I'm gonna continuously hound you, and I'm gonna be like, P.S. Please throw in a big thank you.
I will.
But it's only an honest. It's not. If it's gonna happen, it's when. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna manifest it. I'm manifesting. Austin was just like, okay, what is your speech gonna be like? I'm gonna be right when I get up on there and they give me my thing and just be like, half a day. That's the first thing that's gonna come out of my mouth, and you know, guaranteed everyone's gonna be like,
what did she just say?
What did she just say?
But I'm so excited for your career thus far and what you have in store. I'm even more excited for you to get married and you know, have some awesome creative babies and I really look forward to what you have, you know, up. And you know, for people that are listening, if they want to kind of keep in the know with what you have going on from projects and stuff, I mean, is there a place online that they can like follow you or kind of keep up to date?
Instagram, Facebook. You can friend me on Facebook. I'll friend you. I'm more, I don't know, Instagram. Like you can check out my Instagram, hair_horrorist. And I also have my professional page, which is Analyn Cruz, X Makeup and Hair. And you can check that out. But I'm going to be honest, like now it's so hard to post anything that I do and anything that I'm working on because of like NDA issues and all of that. So, but if you just want to say hi
or advice
or anything you want to ask or you know, but please don't ask for autographs or shout outs, video shout outs. Oh my god. I mean, like, Lania Groff, if I can do that, then I would do it for myself. You know, it just depends. It really depends on who it is. So, some people are willing to be like, yeah, of course. And other people are like, the first thing they say is, oh, these people keep DM me for it. I'm just like, okay, you're not a good one then. No pictures with you.
But I really appreciate it, and if you want to listen to this podcast and all the other podcasts that we've had, make sure to head over to the KUM Podcast Network. You can find it on Spotify, SoundCloud, and now even Pandora. And you know, you can follow her on social media, and you know, in between her crazy schedule, hopefully, you know, she'll keep us in the know with everything going on. And I know that this is not going to be the last time we have you on the podcast. You're going to be on you're gonna be on again really soon
Yeah.
with the Emmy, so we can show it.
So we can show it. Can I also like say something?
Sure, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna make a shout out to like Guam Weekly. I'm so sorry. I love you guys, but I was supposed to host the website. I was like, oh my god, I didn't even post anything. But I swear to you, it was really busy and we had no reception at where we were filming. So I'm so sorry about that. But you know, thank you so much. I really appreciate it for you guys. And then Expensive Dreams, like my nephews, he sends me things and sends me stuff because we have like wrap gifts and we have like little bitty bags that we all exchange, and he's just like, I'm like, yeah, and I can't afford to get people things, and so he's, you know, supported me out there. Yeah. And also all my family out here. Jolene Uggen, she's my top supporter. She's at GMH. I love her to death. She's one of my sisters. And my dad and my family. Okay, that's it.
Everybody.
And Austin for cooking and cleaning and taking care of me all the time.
You have to make sure she gets that in before we end.
I have to make sure.
But thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to head over to the KUM Podcast Network. Until then, adios.